Oh, that's a mistake. That's a classic mistake, actually. Since black is expanding the center quite explicitly, we can strongly consider some kind of invasion now before it's too late. We also have a chance to consider cutting through here now. Alright, our first one-down game. Let's go. We are white. Thanks for following, Senpai Lina. Ah, Senpai noticed me. Okay, so we are going to take, we'll just take a 4-4 and keep it simple. I prefer 3-4 points myself a lot of the time, but yeah. I know that a lot of the viewers like to just play 4-4 points. I know a lot of my students like to just play 4-4 points, so... since black enclosed the corner here, we're going to enclose the corner here, reducing black's potential on the bottom and getting some corner. Black's playing there. Now, in a competitive game, I would strongly consider just to invade 3-3 now, in the age of AI, right? But yeah, we can just play simple. Something like this is totally fine. How do you handle cross openings differently than openings where you each have a side? Well, I actually prefer divided games anyway, like more complicated games with more territories all over the place. So if my opponent does a cross opening, I'm actually happy. And I think that because white has a pretty big komi, the 6.5 or 7.5, it's in black's best interest, I think, to synergize with their stones. And so it's better for black to have two corners next to each other. That way it's easier to build moyos and to take advantage of your first move advantage. So I think white's happy. Yeah, there's nothing particularly scary or complicated about a cross game, I think. Oh, that's a mistake. That's a classic mistake, actually. Yeah, white has a few options here. Simple is just wedging here. Black is not going to completely explode here, but basically black has a lot of cutting points now, and it's going to be worse than usual. For example, I can consider to cut here. Now, it's actually enough for me, even if all I did is Hane and connect. But let's see. So if I cut, black would go here. I extend. Black probably pushes again. And then we either extend or Hane if we can. The interesting thing with the Hane is that if black tries to Atari, then when you extend, black's in Atari with this one stone. So cut, push, extend, push, Hane. And if black Ataris, we extend, black connects. And I guess we go here to stop ourselves from being laddered. It looks a bit too complicated anyway, so let's do something simpler. What if we just extend again? Black would presumably have to keep going, and eventually we can put this one into trouble, right? So let's go ahead and cut this. But just a disclaimer that I think just Hane and connect is already a better result for white due to all the cutting points in black's shape, and the fact that white can still invade here later as well. Yeah, this is a very good result for white. We still have some reduction around here, which means we even have an invasion here if we really wanted to, because we have a connection there. But it's kind of unnecessary. It really is. If anything, this invasion would be better. Now, there isn't so many interesting moves anymore. Maybe attaching here to develop the bottom actively. The left side's extremely uninteresting, and like if one player plays something, you can just invade it, so it's kind of awkward there. Something like this, or one of these two moves, is really big now. So I'm thinking of either closing the corner here or invading here. This invasion is not really necessary, but if black starts building like this, you're going to lose your time, and then eventually black will get bigger and bigger, and you might wish that you invaded here. So yeah, I do think that something like this though might be the best move. It looks really nice, and it kind of cancels out the wall here. What should we do? What should we do? M17 option helps H17 too. H17. Yeah, kind of, yeah. Like, if you invade here and then they go down, and then you invade here, yeah, then if they attach on top, you can connect over and basically have like a 3 in a row type of thing. So yeah, that's possible too. R6 looks like a high Dan move. It does, yeah. R6 is a high Dan move. I think we're going to go for that one and stay calm regarding the top. Because black's wall here is quite big, I think it makes a lot of sense to play here. And it also makes a lot of sense for black to play there, so good job for black. We're going to just close the corner here, because not only does it give us the corner, but it actually kind of revitalizes our invasion potential. And even if we don't invade, we have some really good endgame here later, like attaching. Okay, so black jumped again. Since black is expanding the center quite explicitly, we can strongly consider some kind of invasion now before it's too late. Otherwise, it's also big to play on the left now, since black enclosing it starts to make the left side become more interesting. I think it's pretty easy to reduce the left though, even if black plays here. So I think I want to do something about the actual top. So what should we do? If we play here, then black might do a forcing move there. Yeah, let's go ahead and invade this. I don't think we really need to, because we have reductions from both sides, and we also have reductions from the center, and we have quite a bit of territory too. So I just want to put it out there that white didn't really need to play here. But we're going to play here anyway because it's fun, and because it seems like it can survive. This one's not really Sente, we just stand to lose a bit from the clamp here. Lose a bit in the corner, so what we're going to play is either attaching here or play this one. Just like what you mentioned about play it cool with K13. K13 is... you mean something like this? I think even that's not necessary, and actually that one might be too deep. It's a little bit deep actually, going there. I think we could have just, you know, chilled out. We have quite a bit of second line reductions up here, so yeah. But now that we already did this, we need to continue. So I'm going to go ahead and play this one. So we're actually using that idea. Yeah, I know. We're on 2 Byoyomis. Oh, we're on 1 Byoyomi? Oh, wow. There's only 1 Byoyomi left? Interesting. Okay, so black played there. We could actually block here and get a Ko connection. But maybe it's more interesting to play this one first. If we're really careful about it, we can survive here. Perhaps peeping here would have been good. Actually, we can do it now. So I'll go ahead and peep this. Black should connect. Right, and now we can either wedge here or play the tiger's mouth here. And this is going to work pretty well for white. I can already see that. I think we're going to go for this wedge. I think either of them are fine, though. Either of those would have been quite fine. The 2 capture stones, 2 Byoyomi's gambit, yeah. No, but, I mean, white has a pretty easy game now, to be honest. We just need to, yeah, not run out of time. Okay, so I can either play this one, or maybe even just block here. Let's just block, actually. Yeah, I think Tiger's Mouth, though, would have been perfect as well. Okay, that's actually a nice Tetsuji to cleanly block white off. And now we just need to make sure that we finish surviving. So we have moves like this, and then we have things like this as well. So yeah, what we can do here is start with this one. Black has to play a move to keep us disconnected. And then once we play here, we're alive. If you Atari here, black might make a Ko. And while you're busy with the Ko, you could end up dying up here. So it's not really a good idea to Atari here. So what we're going to do is simply play this one. Now white's alive. As you can see though, it's really not always the best idea to live even if you can, because we lived here but we always had second line reductions anyway. And we're also going to lose some points in the corner now if black comes back and clamps here. And on top of it, since black is so strong here now, black can also develop the center in a big way. So it's probably better to not have invaded there. Okay, so black's taking a pretty big risk here. Like we could just play something like this and be alive. But we also have a chance to consider cutting through here now. And how is that going to go? Maybe better to fix first and cut after. Even if we cut, it looks like black can still live inside. That's not gonna work. Something like that could end up working if white just connected here, but this one works perfectly. Black is clamping, but that's actually not the right time because now when we just connect here, if black plays this one and we cut through here, black might die. Yeah, so now we can probably just cut here, and it looks like this black group might get captured. Black's gonna play here. This is the only move that could possibly help black to live. Black definitely overplayed here, so even if all we did was push and Atari, we would end up capturing all this. Black could make a Ko though in that case, so it might be better for us to just play something on this side somewhere. One of these. Which one should it be? I guess this one works. It still looks like black has a dead shape. Okay, so black resigned. If we look back through the game, everything was normal here, right? Black made a big mistake of attaching here. It should be this one. Black should have gone here. The Joseki played for most of modern Go history is this one. And another simple way is to just block like this, which is fine, and black blocks as well. This move takes away one of black's liberties, so this is a little bit better than the double knights move. And the new AI variation is to extend down here. If black blocks, it's a big mistake because now white pushes through here and black is all broken. This push and cut doesn't actually work because the exchange of 2 for 3 gave white more liberties in the corner, so white can just connect this side. And so what black needs to do is block here. The old way was white going here and black doing maybe something like this, and this is fine. This is like an old Joseki that pros have played a lot, but there's a better way now. It was hard for professional players to accept or to see that it could be good. It's a very AI type of thing, and which is white pushing and butting their head on black's stone. This is seen as very bad normally because white's running out of liberties, and because of white's liberty shortage, black can even double Hane here, which is very painful for white. I mean, if you just connect, black connects and black is very strong on the outside. And if you take the one stone, then it's a disaster for the corner. But what AI actually wants us to do is to actually leave it at this moment and either Tanuki or in many cases push here, which is part of the Joseki. If you block here, then you sort of can, but between clamping here and waiting for the situation outside to change later on, there's a lot of agi between like white clamping here and this Atari here, and either this cut or this kind of move threatening the cut over here. And often, especially later in the game, white can string something very dangerous together here. And that's why it's nice to leave this as it is, because although you have this Atari or this connect, you also have this Atari over here, which you're not going to play without a purpose, but it can definitely come into play, especially if something's going on up here. So the Joseki that you want to know here is basically white descends down, black does not block because of this, but instead blocks here. White bumps their head on black's stone and we get the double Hane. And white leaves this alone and pushes here. And because this one has really bad agi between the clamping and cutting potentials, black is just going to jump here. And at this moment, both players usually leave things alone and move on. So you might see white just playing something like this now, or maybe attaching here, or who knows, right? Even invading here. So those are the main Joseki you want to know here. And in terms of the real game, yeah, black got cut here and then it's all captured. So even though black can still sort of finish the wall, it's very bad for black as it's very narrow now and the corner got too big. Special thanks to my patrons for making this all possible. And an extra special thanks to Daniel Boai, Taras Bob, Legankar, Mr. Lalonde, A. Petresk, Muskrat19, and Svaso for going the extra mile. See you next time!